Hello friends, today we need to talk about a very serious issue, one that directly concerns India's national security. This topic had come up earlier during Operation Sindoor when Indian forces were responding to Pakistani terrorists and their army. But we choose not to speak then, not because Pakistan could have gained anything from it. What we discuss is based only on publicly available information. Still, that moment called for unity across the country, not analysis or debate on our weaknesses. And that's why it wasn't the right time then. But now the time is right. Because the issue we are about to raise points at a serious weakness in India's military system, a gap in our defense preparedness that we can no longer ignore. Friends, let's face it, we cannot always hide problems under the carpet and sit silently on top of it. We must ensure these matters are addressed, because if we don't talk about them, if we don't look for solutions, then during a real war, these weaknesses can cause huge losses and setbacks. In fact, not discussing such issues could be a bigger betrayal to the nation. So let's start it. The crisis. Friends, we now have shocking updates about shortage of fighter jets in Indian Air Force. In the coming days, India is going to face a massive shortage of fighter aircrafts. Friends, this is the warning given by retired Indian military officers. These are patriotic officers who have served in our military. Even the Economic Times has published a big report on this. It says that by October 2025, same this year, the number of squadrons in the Indian Air Force will drop significantly. In fact, this report says that by then, India will have roughly the same number of jets as Pakistan, which is really shocking. This issue is now being heavily discussed in the defense world. Some experts are calling it a loud wake-up call for India, but others are saying there are alternative systems in place so it is manageable. And there is a mindset that says it's okay, somehow we will manage. But what's the truth? What are these alternative systems, if there are any? How will India make up for the shortage of fighter jets? Let's discuss everything in this today's report. Please stay with us till the very end. Friends, in any conflict, air power is extremely important. India has seen this clearly in many wars. From 1971 war to the recent Operation Sindoor, Air Force played a decisive role. Of course, the style of warfare and technology has changed slightly, but the need for fighter jets has never reduced. India has so far managed with its limited resources. And with the skill and discipline of our pilots, India has succeeded in our most air operations. But there are problems. You should know this. India needs 42 squadrons of fighter jets. And even this 42 squadron demand is from many years ago. By now, according to some experts, India needs at least 50 to 60 squadrons. But by October this year, India's number of squadrons of fighter jets will come down to just 29. One squadron usually has 18 to 20 fighter jets. So India will have only 522 fighter aircrafts. Now let's compare that. Pakistan nearly has 25 squadrons, that is around 450 fighter jets. From October onwards, India will have just 72 to 75 more jets than Pakistan. Just 75 more jets than ever hostile enemy, which is 3.7 times smaller than India in size. That is a very narrow edge. That's not all. If you compare with China, the another enemy with whom we have already fought a war in 1962, India's air fleet will be less than half of China's. China has 66 squadrons, that is around 1,200 fighter jets. Other than the USA, China has the most number of fighter jets in the world. And China is working to add even more. That is why defense experts say in the future, India will face a severe jet shortage. And this will become a very serious concern. Retirements and delays. In India, the addition of new aircraft is very slow. We are not adding large number of fighter jets. Even if we place new orders, it will be just for few aircrafts. Slowly and over many years. In the last 10 years, old jets like MiG-21, Mirage and Jaguar are being retired rapidly. In the past 2 years alone, 2 MiG-21 squadrons have already been retired, and in the next few days, all remaining MiG-21s will be retired. They will be permanently grounded. Also, within the next 10 years, India must retire another 72 fighter jets. But what is India replacing them with? Where are the new jets? They are not being added in required numbers. The replacements are not happening fast enough. India had started an ambitious project called MMRCA, the Medium Multi-Role Combat Aircraft Program. This was called the mother of all defense deals. Under this, India aimed to buy 126 fighter jets. Initially, Dassault Aviation from France was selected. The agreement was 18 jets would be made in France and the remaining 108 would be made in India by HAL with the help of Dassault, of course. And Dassault had to transfer the required technology to make this possible. But this condition held the deal back. Dassault didn't show that much of interest in technology transfer. So the deal was cancelled in 2015. Because of that, Indian Air Force did not get the fighter jets it needed. India wanted to reduce dependency on foreign aircrafts and manufacture them locally. But making a fighter jet is not like making a mobile phone. It is not like other factories. Even if you build the body of the aircraft, where is the engine? We don't have engines. Foreign companies didn't agree to technology transfer or joint manufacturing in this regard. So, Indian Air Force seriously lacking in number of fighter jets. The Tejas setback. India supported Tejas program, but even now Tejas is not ready enough to meet India's actual needs. Air Force Chief AP Singh himself sat inside Tejas and said, "Maza nahi aa raha hai." It means this is not enjoyable. He meant he was not impressed flying it. This project started 40 years ago. 40 years ago. And it is still crawling forward. What is the main excuse HAL gives? We don't have engine. Yes, engine is the main issue. Either we must build our own or buy from outside. So finally, Indian government tried to buy it from Americans. But Americans are giving them very slowly, like distributing sweets one after one. And there is our Kaveri engine program, India's indigenous engine program. It is not taking off. We are unable to make it successfully. Even though hundreds of thousands of engineers graduate in India every year, we are still not able to build a successful fighter jet engine. That is not all. Even air-to-air missile production for the Air Force is not up to the mark. India bought 36 Rafael jets from France, but these are not enough to replace old jets which are retiring rapidly. So at least while ordering for Rafaels, we should have ordered for 100, 120 or for 150 Rafaels at one shot. Why only 36? When you place an order for fighter jets, it takes 5 to 10 years for them to be delivered. That is why we should have placed a bigger order back then itself. Yes, now India has placed a new order for 26 more Rafale fighter jets. But those are marine versions, meant for the Navy use. Lives cost in peacetime. Friends, meanwhile, our fighter pilots are dying even in peacetime. They are flying old junk aircrafts and dying during training or military exercises. Just a few days ago, a Jaguar jet crashed. Before that, a Mirage crashed. From 1970 to till now, hold your breath, there have been 1,350 crashes of fighter jets and helicopters. This includes 500 MiG jets and 150 Cheetah helicopters. And friends, remember, when these aircrafts crash, we don't just lose our aircrafts, we lose our fighter pilots. In 2015, the Indian Air Force had a shortage of 486 pilots. After that, the plan was to recruit 222 pilots every year. But even today, we are not reaching that number. Only 158 to 200 pilots are being trained per year. As a result, there is a shortage of strong aircraft and a shortage of trained fighter pilots too. This has created a situation where our pilots are dying in peacetime, flying old, outdated planes. Now friends, you tell me, shouldn't we talk about this seriously as a nation? What's being done now? Right now, India is trying to upgrade existing jets to manage the situation for now. We are planning to modernize Sukhoi jets for the use in next 25 years. We are turning them into Super Sukhois. The program itself called Super Su-30s. But here is the debate. Some people say the times are changing. The era of sending human pilots inside fighter jets into enemy territory is ending. Now is the time of drones and electronic warfare. Definitely near future, it will be the ultimate warfare. Even drones can now deliver deadly strikes. So why send valuable fighter pilots on fighter jets into enemy territory? That is the argument some people are making. Also, India now has missile power. We can fire missiles at China or Pakistan even while sitting on land. Just recently, we launched BrahMos missile from Sukhoi jet into Pakistan. But we also have a variant of BrahMos that can be launched from the land. Surface to surface BrahMos we have. So if we want to damage Pakistan or China, we have other options too. And we have strong air defense as well. So the question is, do we really need to invest heavily in fighter jets anymore, which can be outdated in nearly a decade? What if we spend thousands of crores now and by the time the jets arrive, they are already irrelevant? Once we reach the era of 6th generation and further down the line, those jets might not even need pilots. They might be AI-powered unmanned fighter jets. So some say a small number of manned fighter jets are enough for now. We can rely more on drones and missiles in the future. On the face of it, it may look like a good proposition, but here is the big question. Should a nation as big as India just sit and hope that things will improve on their own? Should we avoid spending $10 billion or $20 billion on fighter jets just to save money? Should we wait and imagine that maybe the future will rescue us? Or should we say, even if it costs $10 billion, $20 billion, no problem. Let's fix this issue for now. Let's give the Air Force what it needs now in today's situation. Because right now, fighter jets are not irrelevant. Maybe 10 years down the line, they may become outdated. Then we can switch to unmanned jets. But as a nation, should we sit back and think only about money? Or should we all join hands, pay our taxes and invest in national security heavily? Friends, what do you think on this? Please let us know your opinion on the comment section below. And if you like this video, please don't forget to like, share and especially please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much. Let's meet again. Namaste.